little with words of encouragement, attacking trending topics, self-awareness.
Welcome back to my podcast, Motivation with Linnell. Joining me today is Mr. Kashif Edwards. Mr. Edwards, welcome you to my podcast.
It's good to be here.
Today we'll be discussing the topic, set your mind to win. What do you think about that?
Uh, Honestly, I think it's really good. I think the topic is thought provoking, and I think that we will be having a riveting discussion about this topic.
Okay, good. All right. How do you get into a winning mindset?
Uh, all right. So one of the things that we have to do before we set our mind to win, as we so put it, is to set smart goals. When I say smart goals, is to, these goals must be specific, they must be measurable, they must be attainable, as well as realistic and time bound. What this does is to help you as an individual, to take it step by step. So, for instance, I want to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a specific goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's measurable. Yes, it is. How do I attain this goal? What am I going to do? Am I going to take money from the bank? Am I going to save towards it? Then it becomes realistic. Is it too expensive for me? Is my budget too much, etc.? And then, of course, you put in space a time span in which you want to achieve this goal. So if I want to buy a car in the next 3 years, these are the goals. This is the thing that I want to do. This is how I line it out. So to get ourselves in a winning mindset, uh, first we have to change our whole mindset, change our whole persona. Well, I'm not gonna say persona, but change the whole aspect as to how we, how we would relate to certain things. And of course, the goal setting is very much important.
But sometimes we set a goal and it don't work out.
Of course, and the reason why and the reason why I stated before that we set smart goals. Of course, these goals are able to, able to be bent, so that we can, based on the need or based on the whole, what would I say, based on the whole situation in which we're going through, where these goals are attainable. So yeah, of course, goals change
That's a
definitely.
good one. That's a good one. All right. Share a time when a positive mindset helps you to succeed.
Alright, so I'm going to university. And I remember one time my group members were non-participative. I was like, and the deadline was coming up for my project, for the group project. And I was like, I was overwhelmed at one point in time, but then, all right, I'm not going to be overwhelmed. I'm not going to be dismayed. I'm going to, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I said to myself, Kashif, this is what I'm going to do. And I listed all the details, everything that I am going to do as the group leader, because and how my group would achieve it. And I realized once I changed my mindset to say not think on the negative aspect of it, that my group is not participating, but think of what I can do. Think of the persons that are actually participating. Use those persons. And we realized that once we started the group project, all the other persons decided to come on board, and and it was a success.
Yes.
So if I did not change the way I would have approached the situation, if I did not change the way my mindset as per se, where I started to think positively instead of negatively, that the deadline, this, but I started to say, okay, this is what I have, these are the resources, and this is what I'm going to do. And in turn, I realized that it was worth it. And the group succeeded. We got 100% in the group presentation.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
what?
was good. Yeah.
What is it? I realized, yeah, those are some
And
of the things.
because of the positive
Mindset.
Right.
Me not do it, and right. I realized that it was changed, and to God be the glory.
Yeah. So, what helped you to stay focused on your goals?
One of my main motivators is my family, and definitely God in the center of everything. because
Big up God and big
big
up
up
Mr. Edward's family.
big up God every time because let me tell you, man, at days I was like around there, I'm at work and I go to school at the same time. I was like, what am I gonna do? How am I going to, you know, achieve this? How am I going to do this? And I realized it is important that we pray because when you pray, you get an enlightening, you get clarity of thought, everything.
True.
And then it's the case where my family, my aunts are always saying, yeah, man, you can do it, man. Study and you can do it. I mean, I always say, all right, then studying is not it. But trust me, most of the time it is important that we study. So, yeah, family and God is definitely my main motivation.
Also turn auntie.
Let's not talk about that.
All right. How do you handle challenges without losing motivation?
This one is really hard because I'm not going to say I don't lose motivation at times. At times I really do. Challenges without losing motivation. That's really a tricky one because many a times I lose motivation. But as I said before, right, as I said before that I pray. Sometimes I ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ball. Sometimes you will have sleepless nights. You will have insomnia. All of them something there. But when I look back as to where I'm coming from, and then when I look to see this is where I want to go, and I say, all right then, if me not do this, me can't do it, and me can't reach this. So, me put the shoulders to the wheel, and I have to get it done. So, yeah.
Yeah. Big deal.
Big deal. Yeah, yeah, man, big deal.
Can you talk about a recent achievement that you are proud of?
uh, yes, I did. I actually finished my this semester that I did with 3.50 GPA. So I was like, I took God with the glory, great things He has done. So that's very recent. This morning I looked at my platform and I saw my grades and I was like, oh God, yeah, water run out of my eye. Because I said, no, sir. Imagine if I actually put in more effort because I know that I can do better. If I put in more effort, I exert more effort into what I'm actually doing, then of course university has nothing on me. Nothing. But yeah, that's one of my recent achievements which I'm proud of.
All right. I mean, like when the young people them go on, yeah, me like that. Me like when you see because I never get the education that I wanted. Always push young people to do their best. You understand? What does success mean to you?
It is everything. And when I say everything, the reason why I see it is that someone out there might be looking at me or when I reach there, when I become successful and saying, wow, despite all the odds, despite the adversities, despite the struggles, I want to be just like this person.
Yeah.
And for me, success or becoming successful is everything, whereas I can use that success to motivate others, to steer them into the right direction, to say, hey, if I can do it, you can too. And of course, with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. So it is everything. It is everything, man. Everything.
All right. How do you stay determined in the face of setback? Because sometimes you do something and you just now reach where you want to go. So how do you stay determined?
Boy, me not tell a lie. Sometimes me give up. Me throw them, throw in the towel as they would say. I say, yo, me not do this. And that is it.
I mean that
Yeah,
easy to give up.
and that is it. And then sometimes me just because at times we're so stubborn.
True.
We're so stubborn. We're so one-sided. We're so one-minded. In the case where we say, all right, then me not do this, and but at the end of the day, if we should really look back and to see that this is I'm doing this for myself. And of course, as a Christian, God did not promise us everything smoothly. He said that we're going to struggle to get there. And of course, we're going to have difficulties. As the songwriter say, though we have to fight against all evil, we must keep on the firing line. So we have to, despite all the setbacks, because the devil is always trying to sift us like wheat. So we have to prepare, we have to get into the mindset to say, all right, obstacles are going to be there. Trials and tribulation are going to be there. Setbacks, as you said, drawbacks are going to be there. We're going to procrastinate a bit. We're going to waste a few times. But at the end of the day, the goal that we have in mind must always be top priority. So that we say, all right, then this is where I'm going. This is where I want to be. So of course, setback is must. It is a must. It is mandatory. But it is important that we keep the focus in terms of our mindset, because if once our mind becomes eroded, once our mind becomes, let me put it this way, once our mind say, all right, then that is it, then there's nothing in this world that can push us to say, all right, then once our mind lose focus, there's nothing in this world that is going to change that. I must God, but nothing else. So yeah.
So we know that self-doubt is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, people, including myself, sometimes I doubt myself so much. One of my main things growing up, low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
People will tell me, say, look here, your foot dirty. I mean, know it clean,
Mm-hmm.
but because you say dirty,
Mm-hmm.
me have in my head, say, my foot dirty, and me go on with that something. But listen, self-doubt is a big thing. How can you overcome self-doubt?
All right. So I don't think there is one that can actually overcome self-doubt, and the reason why I say this is that many a times we, even ourselves, because it has to do with ourselves, of course. Because if we tell ourselves, as you made mention, that yes, because my foot dirty, no. But how do we overcome self-doubt? Uh, as Marcus Garvey would say, without self-confidence, we are twice defeated in the race of life. So we must be in the safe where we're confident in ourselves, that confident in our ability to do whatever task or situation may be thrust upon us. So one, as well as it is always important that we reflect, do some self introspection in terms of what, as I made mention, I'm coming from here and I'm here right now, but I want to get here. If I'm coming from here and I got here, it is within me to reach here. So why am I doubting myself? Why am I worrying that I can't reach over this? Push. And the acronym push, pray until something happens. So we have to push forward always. Of course, we're gonna lose hope, we're gonna lose the whole momentum. But it is important that we get there just the same. Whether it take 15 years, 5 years, we have to get there. And never, I must say this, never use one success to judge or to determine your own. Whereas their timing is their timing and your timing is your timing. Right.
All right. How important is setting your goals to your success?
It is, as I made mention in the first case, it is important, very important. Even though sometimes as young people we not set no goal, sometimes we just say, all right, we are wing it. If this happen, this happen. But when we set smart goals, as I made mention, goals that are flexible, because these goals must be flexible because situation, as we say, may arise. So goal setting is very important. It outlines that what we wish to accomplish over a particular period of time, what, how, and when we wish to accomplish whatever goals that it is that we set or put in place. So it is very important, very much important.
All right. My last question to you. Look into the camera and I want you to give an advice, not a question. I want you to give an advice to a young person out there like yourself who have the mindset for achieving their goal, but they don't know how to go about it. I want you to tell them.
All right. So my
Looking like you're
advice
having
to
talk
you,
on.
young persons or young people out there, is I always go by this quote. It says, "The rung on the ladder was not meant to rest upon, but instead to hold one foot long enough to propel or to put the next foot forward." Meaning, at times you may have obstacles, at times there may be hurdles that you have to face, and of course, you may be stuck on the ladder for a particular period of time, but it is important that we continue to push forward, because if we don't push forward, then we are becoming uh, basically nothing. I'm not going to say nothing because we're all something, but it's important that we push forward always. And if it's a case where we are pushing and our goals are not being met, reach out to someone that you know that would motivate you. It is important as well that we keep the right friends, because your friends, as I said, your friends, as the old time people, will show me a company and I'll tell you who you are. It is important that we keep friends that are moving in the upward direction, friends that are able to push you, even at times when you doubt yourself. Your friends say, "You got this, Lynette, you got this, you can do this." So it is important that we keep our friends, our good friends, as I say, friends that motivate us, friends that push us, friends that help us to move forward.
And I don't want you have some friends. As what Mr. Edwards said, you have to give positive friends. Can you have some friend, we still say, yeah, Linnell are gonna reach the goal there. But because of the negativity,
You don't reach. You don't reach. It is, as I say, energy, positive energy. Surround yourselves with positive energy. Surround yourselves with persons with positive and impactful mindsets. Persons that are goal oriented. Persons that are go getters. Persons that are achievers. Because those are the persons that we're going to see on television advocating. Those are the persons that we're going to see in our parliament. Those are the persons that are going to be in the private sectors, heads of government, heads of departments. Those are the persons that you're going to see. You're not going to see the persons out there that are smoking with them anonymous out in a parliament. No, you're not going to see those persons that are always procrastinating or always, doubting themselves. Of course, you're going to doubt at times, but it is important that we push forward, push, pray until something happens.
so that is the last word. Push,
Pray
pray
until something happens.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards, for joining my podcast today.
It is my
A
pleasure.
lovely topic, and I hope you'll come back.
Definitely, whenever you have me.
So I always ask my guests to tell the people, because everybody is watching. Tell them if somebody wants to call you and ask you or ask you for a word of encouragement, tell them where they can find you.
Alright, so I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. My social Instagram profile is Kashchief. That's KASH underscore dot dot CHIEF. My Instagram, my Twitter, sorry, is at Kashif Edwards. Feel free to reach out to me. If you want to message me on WhatsApp as well, one of my telephone numbers 876-3177-499, or Miss Lila can put you on, and definitely we can go through.
Lovely young man here, aspiring. That's the wrap. And remember, subscribe, share, comment. Bye.
Definitely.